character is, but it's like a head. Was it Dionysius is this guy? I guess it's this guy. It's like a head in a mechanical thing. It's like I don't know who this guy is. I don't recall him from any stories I've ever read before. But it's like Bane and his crew are getting this guy, and yeah, it's real hard to like really give any kind of. They're fighting some Russians for some reason, and it's Russians screwed over Bane or something. It's really hard to know what's going on. I mean, I'm sure if I did, it seems like it'd be probably a pretty cool story. I'm just missing a lot of it, but art wise and everything is pretty good. Catwoman guest appearance, it's okay. And then I just wanted to get through that one because that was the next one on the list. But then we both read Batman 30,
Yeah.
which I think is getting. I think Tom King's Batman gets better all the time, man.
It really does. Still with the war of jokes and riddles, Joker versus Riddler, and apparently Batman.
And this is the interlude issue we were talking about before. This is because it's in weird different parts for some reason.
So Batman basically stated he needed to pick a side. He has to pick a side in this war between the Joker and the Riddler, otherwise the whole city is just going to burn. And we know in this issue, he's decided to side with the Riddler against the Joker, which I guess at this point lesser of two evils type of a thing. But this issue is basically told from the view of Kite Man.
Yeah, Kite Man's got a lot. The Ballad of Kite Man Part 2. So I mean, this is the second Kite Man involved part of the story.
So basically, this war through the issues, it introduced Kite Man, basically like almost an origin of Kite Man, so to speak, a few issues back, and then this one told from his point of view where he doesn't know when to stop.
Yeah. But he proves to be more resilient than every other supervillain in Gotham. What I want to say real quick that also along with Tom King, I think Clay and Seth Mann on the artwork. I think as you know, I love Greg Capullo, but I think they do just as good a job as Capullo on Batman. The Batman. For whatever reason, that's like I guess it's his flagship title, of course. But I mean, Superman artwork has suffered and been kind of shitty before. But Batman is like the top. Like that is just a beautiful book. Like no matter, it seems like whoever's doing it.
Well, so I know a lot of people had issues when Romita Jr. took over Superman. Didn't really like his artwork in Superman. But with the Batman titles, yeah, Capullo, these guys. I mean, they're always Batman's always has top notch.
Yeah, it's always been a book that's always kind of brought the tops in art.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go back to like Neil Adams and shit. I mean, you got the best of the best did Batman.
And it's always so interesting to see how they interpret the different, rogues gallery of Batman. Some people give the Joker a very pointed nose. Some people give him a less prominent nose.
I think the way that these guys are doing it just looks great, man. It might even edge out Capullo's Batman a little bit for me. It just looks fantastic, the whole book.
There even comes a point in this issue, like we said, Kite Man is like the last person standing of the Joker's army. He will not stay down, and Batman even pleads with him at one point, stay down.
Yeah.
Don't get back up.
Yeah, it's he's got a tenacity though. There's a tenacity to the Kite Man. And he even gets Scarecrow gassed at one point, I think.
He gets Scarecrow gassed. He gets, everyone he's with. So he's gone out in this issue. He's gone out on missions with Two-Face and the Mad Hatter, Mr. Freeze, all these guys, and he's the last man standing. And it's showing Batman. Basically, Batman had issues ago proposed to Catwoman. It was a huge thing, him proposing to Catwoman. But he told her before anything else, you have to know about the War of Jokes and Riddles.
Yes, this whole story is being told in flashback. This whole arc of Batman. So this is already in Bruce's past. Yeah. Something that he did. It's kind of like an untold story of Batman in the sense that he hasn't told anybody. He's telling Catwoman this for the first time, like what he did in this war, which apparently wasn't too ethical because he took a side and. I don't know. I'm sure we're gonna find out that none of these people are dead. That he's snatched a bunch of Joker's people off the streets and they've dwindled down to just Kite Man. It's just Joker and Kite Man sitting in the audience at the end, listening to the Joker. So I mean, it speaks to his home life too, Kite Man's home life, because you get the talk with his kid about how the wife screws around on him and talks behind his back and thinks he's a joke and doesn't take him seriously or anything, and he just keeps living that, and he's just like, yeah, he just takes a beating and keeps on going in his personal life, and as well as in his criminality.
It was a really good book. The War of Jokes and Riddles is definitely ambitious. It's definitely an ambitious story, but it's working out perfectly.
Yeah, I like Tom King's Riddler too. Tom King's Riddler has just been a badass. It's like, traditionally I always thought of the Riddler I think of the Riddler was it Long Halloween, where he's just like a sniveling coward, like compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
To the other villains. In this, he's a badass, and he's not. He's like kind of lost his shit against the Joker, and he's taking no prisoners with the Joker, and he's just ruthless, man. The thing where when he walked out of Arkham basically because they came down to his cell, and he killed like his doctor or something, and then they came in to get him. And then he just named all of the riot squad's children's names to them.
Yeah.
And they all just stepped aside and they just walked out of Arkham. They're like, this is a scary Riddler. He's not like the sniveling, cowardly, like egomaniac Riddler like Batman's dealt with before. This Riddler's a stone killer.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Riddler. One of those characters that has evolved so much over his lifespan, from the unitard wearing Frank Gorshin Riddler. I mean, to the point that when he actually was a good guy, when the Riddler was actually a good guy for a while before he went back to being a villain. In what was that? It was Batman. Oh God, this was before New 52. Probably around there was over 500, 600 issues of Batman the first run. So it was probably around.
Yeah, that was like 8, well, then 900 something. No, that's Detective.
Yeah, that was
Detective. That's Detective. Where's Batman? So
Batman had whoa. Hold on, my whole my interface just went down. Pulling my interface back up, people. Here in the massive, gigantic computer lab that we have here.
Get on it, computer voice.
Don't give her shit. She's been drinking. Poor woman's got to put up with our asses.
I'm still going to read some of these books. I didn't get a chance to read some of these, but I still want to read Green Arrow, and I still want to read Deathstroke. Actually, I still want to read all of them. I've never read any of the Bombshells books, and it's Bombshells United #1, so why not start there?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that Green Arrow is a metal tie-in or not.
You could be right. I read Green Lanterns, which was not a metal tie-in. It ties into... Green Lanterns is dealing with the First Lantern again. What the hell's his name? I know I'm gonna know it as soon as I see it. I gotta open it.
There was 713 issues of
Batman.
Of Batman, the first run of Batman, and it's so interesting when I look,
Volthoom, the First Lantern. That's what the Green Lantern is.
It's so funny because you think about it. There were 713 issues, okay, of Batman, and the 500s, like the very 501 was the Night Quest.
Yeah.
Tie-ins when Azrael, when Jean-Paul Valley was Batman. That's interesting to think about.
Yeah, I've got a lot of that run stashed away over there in the closet, and I got a lot of
the great closet of Ior.
I got a lot of the I love like the look of Kelly Jones Batman from around that. I don't think it was right through that Night Quest, but it was around that era. But the Kelly Jones Batman with the big, like he was kind of like a almost like an evil spirit Batman looking. It's
Right.
like the big pointy crazy ears and the crazy cape. I like that. Like I love Kelly Jones Batman covers, like the covers he did for Batman during his run.
I've got a lot of the Jeff Loeb work, and it was Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee. So that's
Yeah.
the early 600s. I've got a lot of those, including one which was interesting. One which was Batman number 612. And here's what's really interesting about that. Batman 612 was Batman Batman and Catwoman had to fight Superman because he was under the effects of poison ivy. And there's an episode of The Big Bang Theory where Will Wheaton shows up at the comic book store and they're like, "Oh, here, Mr. Wheaton, here's your Batman number 612 variant cover." And they made this whole thing. Oh, it's a variant cover. It's a variant cover. There was no variant cover to Batman number 612. There was a second printing cover, which was like a sketch cover. The second print, it wasn't a variant. It was a second printing. But I always find that funny. I'm sitting there, I'm like they said that, I'm like, wait a minute. Because I watched the episode when it aired. I'm like, wait a minute. There was no variant cover to this. It's not like today where every single fucking issue
everything's
has a
sketch
variant.
cover this. J. Scott Campbell that.
Back then, like issue number 611,
Frank Cho.
Yeah, there was very few that would have like a variant cover, and it had to be something big to have a variant cover. But I'm sitting there, I'm like, wait a minute, there was no variant cover to Batman number 612. Like there was variant covers to like first appearance of Hush. Something like that, But interesting story.
They weren't that commonplace at that point. I mean, you'd get them once in a while. Like they were different covers for different, didn't they have a bunch of covers for the Superman and stuff too? And then they had like the bagged ones, and then
so that one you would have that. The poly bag, and I love it. Everybody's like, "Oh, I want it to stay in the poly bag. I want it to be in the bag." And then you realize
I've got like 5 copies of that, and like I've got a couple that are unbagged, and I got like 2 or 3 that are completely
and
bagged. And
apparently,
sealed.
people say like if there's like you keep like the bags can actually ruin the comic or something. Like having them stay in there.
I got some out, some in, so I'm covered either way.
I also this week I also read Nightwing. Of course, is Seeley and all them. It's Seeley. I'm pulling it up here. So Nightwing is number 28. It's Seeley.
This one I think is just okay. This is one that you really like a lot. This is one that I do read. I get it because of its Batman connection, of course. But I mean, it's not one that's one of my favorites.
I like Nightwing because I Nightwing is kind of that alternate. To me, Nightwing, Dick Grayson has always been that alternate side of Bruce Wayne. It's that like Dick has not gone completely as dark as Bruce had. He's still trying to hold on a little bit to the light because he knows if he lets go of it, he's gonna be Bruce. He's gonna be, what Bruce.
I did like the last arc with Damian. I just finished. I'm catching up on this, and I'm now. I think I am completely caught up now.
Well, you saw you got to get so you saw the arc with Damian and Professor Pig. You still got to get through the Blockbuster arc.
Okay, yeah, then I gotta find that. So
you gotta get through the.
I got a bunch of them in the. Wait, no, I think I simultaneously. I think because they break into his house. They broke into Blockbuster's house, and she had to get saved by Defacer, the
that's
one
this
girl.
Issue. That's this.
Oh,
issue.
that's this. Okay.
Yeah,
so what?
There was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I must have missed a couple in there somewhere.
Yeah. So.
Thought I was caught up.
So this one is kind of tying up a few loose ends from when Dick Gray went from the book